Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
I also asked about the Gulf countries being hit. He said they're doing unbelievable and they're fighting. They, meaning Iran, made a terrible mistake when they attacked them. The UAE is freezing the assets, and they have the assets, all of them, and they got hit enough where they were going to freeze them. They're brave people. Region. I asked about rising gas prices, and he said that's all right. It'll be short term. It'll go way down very quickly. And I said, well, they're pretty high now. And he said, no, they're not. They're up a little bit, not much, but it'll drop to record lows. And so I asked, well, does this mean that you're going to figure out the Strait of Hormuz soon? Again, something you were just talking about. He said, quote, it's already figured out. We've knocked their Navy because, you know, when you knock out the Navy, they can't do what they wanted to be able to do. The Navy is almost, he said, we just hit the 25 mark. Can you imagine that? Big ones. 25 ships are down. We're doing very well. And John,
of course, Dana Bash from CNN is talking about an interview that she did with President Donald Trump. Welcome, my friends, to the Can't Believe It Again. It's already Friday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, the fastest hour in American media, the fastest week in American broadcasting. Goes by so quick. Here we are again at Friday. Listen, we're going to spend some time with Iran and the Wawa, but there are other things happening out there that I want to touch on as well. So we're going to try to squeeze it all in. Carlos, let us begin. We already cleared Dana Bash and her interview with President Donald Trump. Let us go to cut one. Keep the music. It'll accompany this headlining news report that we go from. Yes.
Well, what seemed like a no-brainer on the House floor yesterday.
Yes.
A resolution reaffirming that Iran remains the largest state sponsor of terrorism. Only 9 lines long. But as Iran's regime is trying to kill our troops in the Middle East, 53 Democrats voted against it. That is a stark contrast to just 3 years ago, when under President Joe Biden, the very same resolution passed 420 to 1. Ben.
Well, it was my own congressman for his sins. Don Beyer was first on your list there, and I'm pretty pissed off about that. Look, this is the easiest vote in the world. It's just a factual statement. It's saying that Iran is the greatest state sponsor of terror, and because of that, of course, there are certain things that follow, and the Democrats are uncomfortable with the things that follow, namely that America should be doing what it can to take a regime that is at its weakest moment, that has seen its proxies absolutely defeated across the region, to go after them in a way that, quite frankly, the American military has been preparing for a very long time.
Yeah, I don't understand why, with all of that going on and the opportunity militaristically to hit Iran at this moment, anybody would want to make us weaker. On the flip side of that, what is up with that with Democrats?
You know, I think that this is, I don't know this Democratic Party, if they still have any kind of muscle memory for the moments that they had in the past, that you and I saw here on Capitol Hill in the wake of 9/11 and during the height of the fears regarding terrorism in the past, when you could see people who disagreed about so many things domestically, but could link arms when it came to the threats that were around the world. That is no longer the case. I think it's the fact that the Democratic Party no longer longer has true moderates in it. The people who are branded as moderates, they turn out to be Abigail Spanberger in Virginia. The people who are, presenting themselves that way, they just don't have any leg to stand on anymore.
53 Democrats raised the Ayatollah's flag, pretty much, the former Ayatollah. He is no more. But you have the Democrats sticking with him. In fact, by the way, I saw a poster for a vigil that is being held, a vigil for the late Ayatollah Khomeini in Washington Square Park in New York. They're having a vigil for Ayatollah Khomeini, the late one. A vigil. Probably candlelights, probably a lot of singing, whatever. These are the Democrats. You point me to an enemy of America in the Democrat Party, many of them will be siding right with them. They actually are. They don't care that you know. In fact, there's a story out about Mondami's wife. Apparently, let me find it because I printed it up. Mondami's wife, apparently, either on social media, here it is. Mondami's stunning response, you can find it in the Daily BS, as wife's pro-October 7th likes spark outrage. Fresh controversy erupted at City Hall Friday after a report claimed that the wife of New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani had engaged with social media posts that appeared to celebrate Hamas' brutal October 7th terror assault on Israel. The explosive claim quickly followed Mamdani into a press conference. Reporters pressed the mayor to respond. When pressed directly, the mayor leaned heavily on distancing himself from his wife's online activity. He distanced himself from his wife. In a way, my wife is the love of my life, and she's also a private person who has held no formal position on my campaign or in my city hall, he said. So he didn't deny it. He didn't say, oh, this is bad, this is terrible. Yeah, look, my wife's a private person. If she wants to tweet things in support of the terrorists, that's her business. Leave her alone. She's the love of my life. Okay? Where things are. Now, quickly, I want to move through this stuff fairly quickly. Excuse me, folks, if we jump around from one thing to the other quickly. Cut number 12. Whoa, no, wrong one. That's the wrong AOC. We got two AOCs here. Cut number 6. Here is AOC Congresswoman, one of the 53 who voted to stand with the Ayatollah.
What's your message to Americans who think that bombing of Iran was in some way sort of intended to distract Americans from the Epstein files?
Well, listen, I think we're seeing this pattern, right? Trump has impulsively went in on Venezuela. He impulsively went in on Iran. There was no exit and no end game for either of these situations. It led to increased global instability everywhere he goes, and every time he's done that, it has been consistent with a spike or a revelation in what is happening with the Epstein files. I don't think that coincidence is something to dismiss off the cuff. I think that he feels existentially tied to it, and I actually think that it is one reason that he must be removed from office, because if the Epstein files has such a hold on President Trump and this administration that they are willing to plunge us and risk world war in order to save themselves politically, that is a person, the definition of someone that cannot make objective decisions for the American people.
Now, I don't want to spend a lot of time with idiocy, because that is what we're hearing. Okay? And by the way, for all you Democrats with this endless Epstein file business, I want you to just please shut up. I don't really want to hear it anymore. You know why? Yesterday, there was a chance in the House of Representatives to uncover. This is Epstein files. What do they always say? Oh, it's about the victims. It's about the victims. It's about the victims. It's about the victims. All right, yesterday, we had a chance in the House of Representatives to, and AOC is one of them. It's all about the victims. It's all about, in fact, let's play the other AOC right now. Didn't lose my place. I'm going to get back to Iran. But this changes gears for a moment. Let's play the other AOC cut that we have right now, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be cut here. Here it is.
Don't care about who's caught up in the Epstein stuff. I could not care less. If you are implicated in it, if you are caught up in it, there are a lot of people who are victims, and there needs to be justice in these situations. Like, release it all. Release it all.
All right, so yesterday the House had a chance to release it all, except not Epstein files. You know what they had a chance to release it all about? The files of their own alleged misconduct that the taxpayers have been paying for. Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our country has to offer, especially health care. Across every state, every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.